Hello everybody, welcome to another episode. This time we are discussing the first half of the first semi-final of Eurovision, as we now have all 43 songs. And first and foremost with us from Eurovar.com we have Emily.
Hello.
How have you been, Emily?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, no, very good, thank you. And my partner in crime, one of the people I work with, Jess from Eurovox.com.
Hello.
We should be used to this now by now, Jess. Talking to each other and disagreeing and God knows what else. But anyway, we're going to jump straight in, and in the interest of fairness, because we do not have the running order yet, we're just going to be going in alphabetical order of the first half and how they are listed on Eurovision.tv. So the first song is Albania, Ugent Bush Pepper and Mal. Which is all in Albanian, recently revamped and released. Jess, let's come to you first. What do you think of this song? Because you were a big fan when it initially was released.
Yeah. I have to say I was a bigger fan of the song when it won FIK, and I'm not as much a fan of the revamp, to be honest with you. I'm happy they kept it in Albanian, because I feel like in English it would have just ruined it completely. But I feel like they haven't really done much with the song. There's not much of a revamp. All they've really done, in my opinion, is just shortened it to 3 minutes. And so I don't see there being a massive change, and the very small changes they have made don't seem to have made much of a difference. And so for me, I think, I think at FIK it just kind of had something about it that kind of, which I think is why it won. And now, for some reason, I feel like that's lost. And I feel like the song is just all on the same level. And there's not much kind of like no key change or no this or that. And so it doesn't really go anywhere. So I'm kind of a bit doubtful now whether it will qualify or not. Because, especially as it's got first half in a strong semi, I'm not 100% sure it's going to qualify, which is a shame.
Emily, how do you feel?
Yeah, I totally see where you're coming from. I really hope it does qualify because it's one of my favourites as well. I think it's in my top 10, and it still is in my top 10. Because as you said, there weren't too much changes or anything, but I agree, I feel like it has lost a bit of its power. But I also put that behind the fact that they don't have orchestras anymore. Obviously, they used it in FIK, and now they don't have that. But I don't think it's made too much of an impact on my top 10, so it's still up there, and I still really enjoy the song, so I'm hoping it qualifies.
Well, I never minded the song. It wasn't my winner in the selection, and it's been okay throughout. This redo, I only heard today, actually, for the first time. I've kind of ignored it all weekend because I've been so flipping busy. And I only really noticed a massive change in the chorus, because obviously in the chorus it did lift quite a lot, and this time it doesn't. I understand, maybe without the orchestra that's why, but there's nothing stopping recording a live orchestra in the studio and just using that take and putting it over the top, I guess. I still think his voice is fantastic, and he's still a great singer, and the song still means a lot to him. Will it qualify? When it first got announced and the first few songs were coming out, I was thinking, yeah, this probably still can, but at the minute I'm not sure, because we're talking about potential winners in this half alone, not even just in the entire competition. And I am worried it's just going to get sandwiched between two big hitters, and I just feel it might get a little bit lost. I applaud Albania for A, not sending a screaming woman, B, sending something in Albanian, and 3, sending something which the majority of people really, really enjoy. So I'll give them that much. Any final comment on Mal?
I just want it to qualify.
I think a lot of people do, but I'm not convinced, sadly. Sadly, not as much as you guys, but we'll see what happens. Right. Moving on, the second song tonight is Azerbaijan, and it will be by Isol and the song Cross My Heart.
I cross my heart, I tear down the firewalls. I cross my heart, I'm stronger than cannonballs. I
even though it's wrote as X My Heart, reasons unknown. I'll start this. I honestly think this is the song that is going to lose them their qualification record, because this is a really cheap pop song, which they've made worse with the revamp. I know it came out after the revamp was released. They hired the composer or someone involved with City Lights to make it more electronic. I don't get electronic, I get more guitar country in the chorus now, and it just, again, like with Albania, it loses a lot of its impact and its drive, and its main selling point of a happy throwback pop song. And yeah, it wasn't what I was expecting when we heard she was a jazz singer predominantly, but she has got the team behind Sergey and Demi with her, so she could have a very impressive stage show. I am, although, just picturing a giant moon on stage because of the line "Luna Moon Me Up," which I still laugh at every time I hear it / cringe. Yeah, I'm just not the biggest fan of the song, and again, we're talking about a very, very strong heat, and they could miss out. They could be the shock non-qualifier, but yeah, this song's just a bit, for me. Jess, let's come to you next on that.
So I when the song first came out, I loved it, and it immediately shot right up into my top 3. Like, I literally loved it that much, and I literally could not stop listening to it, even though it's kind of cheesy and the lyrics for most of the song don't make any sense at all. I still loved it anyway, because that's just my preferred genre of music in general. And then the revamp came along, and it just ruined the whole song completely. Like Elliot said, it just lost its power. The whole kind of removing the piano bit from the beginning of the song and changing it with that kind of electronic beat thingy that they were trying to do, whatever it was, it just wasn't working. And I feel like the song has lost a lot of power. It doesn't flow as nicely as it did before, if that makes sense. And I really would like it to qualify, but I think it's going to be very dependent on good staging and good vocals if it wants to qualify. Otherwise, it's got no hope, in my opinion.
Well, it's at this point that I say that I didn't realise that Azerbaijan had a revamp. So I'm going to say my opinion on what had originally come out, because, I didn't know that there was a revamp. So I'm going to have to listen to that after this. But I'll tell you that when I first heard it, I thought, this is so, not what I was expecting. Because, as you said, she's a jazz singer. I was expecting something a bit more her genre, and the lyrics are very weird.
They are.
Extremely.
But I feel like, as well, in the contest this year, we have a lot of similar sounding songs to Azerbaijan. Like, I think of sort of Australia, Cyprus, Finland, Malta, that sort of genre. They're all sort of similar sounding, so whether she'll get lost in that, I don't know. She has a chance of qualifying, but yeah, this could be the year that they lose their qualification streak.
I mean, to be fair, they all seem to be given a good slot wherever they are in the semi-final or final, so they have that in their favour. And like I said, the team could pull something amazing out on stage, but it's not going to be really easy. But they have qualified with worse, so anything is possible. And I actually noticed thinking, Miracle and Light a Fire. So, it's not the worst song they've ever sent. So there is that. But I have noticed that they like to go through this trend of one year sending a really traditional sort of pop song like Miracle and Light My Fire, and then the following year go something really different out the box. And I really did like their entry last year. I thought Dihaj was a really interesting electronic mid-tempo song, which I really enjoyed. I still don't get the staging with the horse's head, but I don't think I ever will. But I think they know that their staging is always talked about, whether it's the horse's head, the man in the box, the trapeze artist. There's always something going on with them, so we have that to look forward to, at least. But right now I'm going to say between 9th and 12th, maybe. It's on the borderline, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Right, any final words on Cross My Heart?
Nope.
Yep. I just want to know why it's been written as X My Heart instead, because I just think that's really confusing.
I read it as X My Heart when it first came out, and I was like, this is going to be like another Lighthouse 10 situation, isn't it?
It was quite amusing, at least. Right. Third song now is Belarus, and they'll be represented by Ukrainian singer Alexei with the song Forever.
No need to worry, rain falling down. It's our happy story, and there's no one around. We will go for it, and I know you'll be mine forever. Windows wide open, flying so high. Both of us rolling through magnificent sky. Rain keeps on falling.
We know there's been a lot of controversy around this song and his participation in the selection. We're not going to really try and focus on that. Let's focus on the song. Emily, what do you think of Forever?
I love it, and I think it's a very Marmite song. You either love it or you hate it. I am on the love it spectrum. Although I don't think the live performance is that good. I understand that his vocals are not great, but the song itself is really good to me. Although I preferred it in Russian actually, but that's another story for another time. I like the staging of it as well, but obviously from the national final they had an LED screen, which they probably won't end up bringing to Lisbon, I don't think. So they're going to have to think of something to do with the staging for that. And I'm just hoping that his live vocals improve as well by the time we get to Lisbon. But apart from that, like, the song it's a solid song, and I feel like he might have enough support from neighbouring countries and that to help him qualify. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm not a big lover of the song. It doesn't really change much, like from the start of the song to the end. Nothing really changes. I mean, in the studio, he sounds absolutely fine. But yeah, live, he sounded very flat and couldn't really have much range in his voice. And, you know, they don't have many neighbours. Like, there's no Russia, there's no Ukraine, there's no Georgia, which is going to hurt them a bit. And yet, he could still bring the LED bodysuit. That's a thing, you know, just or do a Victoria and have projections on it instead. That would be quite cool. But yeah, I do feel like they're going to need a very spectacular stage show to try and distract from his voice if he hasn't fully mastered it by then. I think you could tell that, you know, singing in English or English just isn't his first language. But yeah, I feel Belarus are going to struggle. I feel like this is going to drop out, and I just think it's such a polarising shift from Navi Band. I couldn't really process it in my brain because you had such a happy song last year, which everybody loved, to the point of maybe it's too sweet for you, to this song, which is just pretty depressing when you listen to the lyrics, and it's a bit morbid. I mean, not the most depressing song in a semi-final, granted, but it still sounds it. But yeah, I think, again, this is a song that's in trouble, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure. But at least he is going, and he is singing this song, because there was a lot of up in the air of, would he go, is this the song? A bit like San Remo, but just a bit more dramatic. Jess, what do you feel about Forever?
So, kind of touching on the Marmite situation with this song, I hate this song. I just hate everything about it. It just seems like a very generic kind of pop song that's trying to be better than what it actually is. And I think they're trying to sell it as a bigger song than what it actually is. In my opinion, it's quite a weak song. And like you both said, the singer is very weak. His vocals are not great. So I think definitely he will need good staging if he wants any hope of qualifying. But to me, this is not promising. Kind of the singer, the song, everything about it's not lighting my fire. So yeah, sorry, Belarus.
I mean, we know that Belarus love a stage show. I mean, we had them on a boat last year. We then had, like, the Mousetrap projector last 2016 even, with, like, the very impressive wolves and everything. So they could be hiding something special. But yeah, it's going to be tough. But I personally, at this point, do not see it qualifying from this heat. And it would be a shame, but I just don't see it happening for Belarus, sadly. Sorry, I know you're going to be very gutted about that.
No, it's okay. I accept it, to be honest.
I accept my fate, it's fine. Right. Song number 4 now, and that is Belgium, represented by Senik, otherwise known as Laura Glueseneken, and the song A Matter of Time.
Before it all echoes and goes, crashing against the walls. Hold my hand and keep your eyes closed. Before it all echoes and goes, I suppose it's just a matter of time. Before it all echoes and goes, crashing against the walls.
I'm going to start this, and I personally love this song. I think it's such a cool song. I didn't hear it at first. A lot of people were describing it as a Bond song. My mind kind of went, oh no, is this going to be another Valentina Monetta maybe situation where it's a Bond song but a cheap Bond song, or is this going to be like Rise Like a Phoenix where it's a really anthemic Bond song? It's more on the Conchita side for me, and although it doesn't have this big crescendo or big key change or anything, it's just something about it is just really enchanting and just keeps you interested. I don't know what it is, but it's really cool for me, and I really, really like it. People are saying it's a potential winner, and the bookies are slowly having it creep up. I don't think it's going to go that far. I do think it could maintain their top 10 status, Belgium, which after Axel, whoever thought we'd be saying that for a 4th year running, they could make a top 10. But yeah, this is quite daring for this broadcaster, because they normally go on the sort of like poppier side of like Laula, Axel, kind of 2012. Who was 20? Oh, Iris in 2012. Yeah, this is very different to what they normally do, and I'm all for it because I really like Senek and I really like this performance. They could just have her in a spotlight and it could work, but I want a little bit more. I kind of want like a jazz club feeling, because I just get a total jazz vibe when I hear it, and I feel like I should be listening to the song with a cocktail in my hand because it's just so classy. Yeah, but I love it. Hopefully a top 10. I definitely think this is qualifying. I just can't see Belgium not in the final. All I hope is that they are not announced last again as the qualifier, because that just must be horrible for a Belgian for every year to be waiting until the last qualifier to hear that. Em, what do you feel on the song?
I don't really agree with you.
I was waiting for that.
No, I understand why people like it. I understand why you like it, of course. But when I listen to it, I always feel like I'm waiting for something to happen that never arrives. I feel like it is sort of same-ish throughout. But I do remember it. It is a memorable song. It does remind me of a Bond song, and I do quite like the Bond sort of feel to a song. I think this one really depends on staging for me, whether I will be, interested in it or like fully invested in it, or whether I'll just sort of throw it to one side sort of thing. For now, the song itself doesn't do much for me. I don't think it is a winner either, but even though this is my opinion, I do think it does have potential to do well as well. Like, I didn't really like Belgium last year either, and look where it came sort of thing. So my opinions in no way reflect what actually happens. So like Belarus, I don't think it will qualify, but I'd love it to, sort of thing. So yeah, I think Belgium will qualify, but I don't know where it will finish in the final.
Jess, how do you feel on it?
I kind of agree with points that both of you said. I like the song. I don't love it, but I like it, and it does sound very Bond-like, as you said. For me, I kind of feel like I kind of agree with Emma in that I feel that it doesn't go anywhere, and I'm just waiting for like a key change or something big to happen. And it just doesn't, and it's really quite annoying, because I feel like there's a lot more potential with this song, and to me it kind of sounds almost like it could be a demo version, and that they need to kind of rework a few bits and make it even stronger and even better. But I think when it comes to Lisbon, I feel confident that it will qualify, and I think with the right staging, I think it could make the top 10. But I definitely wouldn't see this winning it at all. I don't think. It's just, unless everybody else is literally screaming down the microphone, then I don't think this is ever going to win it.
I will admit, well, after your points you both have just made, I didn't even click on this beforehand, but I do feel like this is very much like what Blackbird was last year, where this is a song we kind of expect to do quite well, and then it might fall, and it is like Norma John, a song which really doesn't go up anywhere. You're kind of waiting for something, and that did split opinions, and I feel like this has as well. So this could be the Blackbird of this year, which means I'll be very sad on the Tuesday night because it didn't qualify. And then everyone's going, oh, this is jury top 3, and then we saw that the jury's actually let it down. But yeah, I'm not sure actually, but I think it'll qualify. I can't really see it not qualifying, but at the same time, trying to pick a clear 10 in this heat is nigh impossible, and I'm not even going to attempt that. And I'm just going to accept whatever 10 qualify, to be honest, on the night, or when I see the staging, I'm just going to accept it then. Because in the studio, it's nigh impossible. But I'm a big fan of it, and I do hope she does do very well. She does seem like the most fun person to interview because she seems to laugh at everything though as well, which is great. She seems really sweet. Any final words on A Matter of Time?
It's only a matter of time before we see who qualifies. That was so bad.
You've been spending too much time with Andy. The cheesy comments. Song number 5, the halfway point now, was the long-awaited song from Bulgaria and is Equinox with the song Bones.
So I love beyond the bones, goes deep inside your soul. I love beyond the bones. I love beyond the bones. I love beyond the bones. Wanna be the fire.
Emily, do you want to start on this? Was it worth the wait? Is it worth the hype?
I mean, I think it was very overhyped for what it ended up being. There's not really much I can say about this song, to be honest. I feel like this one really depends on what happens when they're all together. As a studio version, it's a very good song, but I would like to see what it's like on stage, because I feel like it could maybe do an Armenia 2015 and completely flop and not do very well at all. But the song itself is all right. That's all I've really got to say. Like, it will probably qualify, but again, that just depends on the staging.
Jess?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that, actually. It definitely was overhyped, and it's not as good as everybody was making it out to be. And I feel like it's a big come down from both Christian and Polly in 2016. I was expecting something of a much higher standard, so I'm kind of a bit disappointed. Personally, I don't really like the song that much. But I think the song is good. It's just not to my taste. And I think it will qualify. Again, I think it's going to be very dependent on how they kind of perform it on the night and how it's staged. But yes, I think it has the potential to qualify. But how well it will do in the final, I honestly don't know, to be honest with you. Yeah, so I think it's sort of a safe bet from from Bulgaria. I think they were trying to do something different and kind of be very out there, but it's kind of backfired a little bit, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I feel this is a massive step down from the last 2 years. I was really disappointed when I heard this. I get what they're trying to do. I can't, kind of, but yeah, like Emily, I just feel like this is going to be like genealogy. There's going to be too many voices, too many people trying to be the lead, and it'll just... I mean, at parts it sounds like a mess in production anyway. I mean, the only voice I really notice is the low male voice, and then the female voice who's doing the high key when they all come in on the harmonies, and I don't hear anyone else really. And they have said, their Twitter, that they're only going to be focusing on one artist in each shot or something, and they're not a group. They avoid using the word group or supergroup, and common framework as their title, which the internet has just ripped to pieces, as it would, because it sounds extremely pretentious and stupid, to be openly blunt. And yeah, I feel like this is going to have something very good on stage. I'm expecting a lot of lights and dark and everything. I think this is the song which would probably benefit most from an LED screen, because then they could sort of like translate their whole sort of like universe idea with a giant LED screen somehow. But yeah, I feel like this will make the final. Do I want it in the final? No. And yeah, I just feel like the juries are really gonna. I just feel like it's gonna be like Isaiah, where the juries are gonna push this through, but the public are not gonna respond to it at all. And yeah, it's just a step down. I've heard it quite a few times, and it's on that sort of wavelength where it's dark and serious. And I would normally like this, but I'm just waiting for something else to happen, and I lose interest, sadly. And I don't know why, but it just irks me slightly that two of them are American singers on this song. I don't know why, because at least with Tamar in Armenia, or with Genealogy, they were all Armenian descent. But these two have no, relation to Bulgaria at all. One of them's just the songwriter on the song, and that's about it. So I don't know where they found these people, but they did. They somehow found them. But yeah, Bulgaria, not a big fan. It's probably going to get a good slot. Probably going to qualify. In the final, hopefully mid-table, nothing higher than mid-table. But I have noticed those who love it really, really love it, but that looks like to be a minority of people. But it is their worst entry since they've returned, sadly, which makes me sad.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, considering there's like the whole build-up. It could be a returning artist, it could be this, it could be that, and then this is what we have. There's a rumor that Loreen was meant to sing this song, or she helped write it, or she was on the demo track, and then Polygenova had a song in the selection as well. It's fine as it is, but I'm just a bit disappointed, to be honest, which is sad to say. Right, song 6 now, and it's the Czech Republic with Mikolas Josef and Lie to Me.
Lie to me, oh baby, come a little closer. Lie to me, oh baby, lean upon my shoulder. Lie to me, get down on my body, love me like it was always meant to be. Now you love somebody new, I always knew. So come and give it to me.
Well, the first song selected, they obviously tidied it up a bit and made it a bit more cleaner and, Eurovision and kid-friendly slightly. And not much has really changed. I still really enjoy the song. I think he's a great performer. I think he's got great charisma. He's a lovely guy. The lyric about the camel still makes me laugh, and it will make me laugh every single time I hear it. But it's nice to see the Czech Republic being so bold with this song, because I don't think I ever expected the Czech Republic to even consider a song like this. So they've not been very, I don't want to say theatre, but all songs could have been performed in like a stage production of something, of some ilk. Whereas this is just a complete U-turn on that. It's so fun. It's just so relaxed. It's just such a great song. I do feel like because it's such a strong semi-final, it could slip out. I have said it could be a shock non-qualifier. I hope it does make the final, though, personally, because I do really enjoy this song. And yeah, if it makes the final, it's pretty much guaranteed to get their best result, and it deserves to be their best result because it is their best entry ever in the competition, narrowly followed by their 2015 entry, because I did love that. But Lie to Me is a great song. They've done brilliantly, and we know Mikolas can perform it live, and I'm sure he's only going to get better with each rehearsal and each time. And by the time the live show comes, I'm sure he'll be fantastic. Emily, how do you feel?
I love this song. It's actually my joint number one with Norway. Surprise. It's just everything I wanted and more. I have nothing bad to say about this song. To be honest, it's just so fun. I love the instruments in it. I love his voice. The lyrics aren't amazing, but it's really catchy. I loved it. Like when I first heard it, I was like, this is such a good song straight away. And I just did not expect it at all from Czech Republic. Like you said, it's just so unlike them. But I think this is their best entry they've had so far. I think it will definitely qualify, and I think it will get top 10, or at least that's what I hope anyway.
Jess, how do you feel?
I mean, I didn't like the song very much when it was first chosen, but after hearing it, quite a few more times, I'm actually kind of rather liking it now. It is very catchy and it's very kind of like a fun, poppy, catchy song. And yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you both said. I do think it's the Czech Republic's best song in Eurovision, and I think it will qualify. And I'm not sure if it will make top 10 or not, but I think it could maybe sort of make mid-table anyway. But I think, from watching him perform at the national final, he seems to be like a very kind of confident performer on stage. And so I feel like I'm not really worrying too much about how he's going to perform it in Lisbon. I feel confident that he'll be able to bring it. And even though, semi-final one is very strong, I do think the song is strong enough to qualify and to stand out. Yeah.
Okay. I will just say I'm still pretty certain this is opening the semi-final. I just feel with that opening hook as well, I just feel like that is going to open the semi-final. I just have that feeling for about a month now and I don't see it changing.
Mm-hmm.
But people are saying also Azerbaijan could open, but I'm still putting my money on Czech Republic. Watch me be wrong. It always happens. I always get the opening wrong. Right. Yeah, any final thoughts?
No, Czech Republic.
I think we know what flag Emily is taking to Lisbon. Next song is Estonia, and it's Elena Nachayeva with La Forza. That's the first name I got wrong, and her surname's even more difficult to say. Yeah, La Forza is the song. So Em's mentioned her favourite of the year, then this is my favourite of the year. Shock horror. Yeah, I really enjoy opera. I'm not going to deny that. And as soon as I first heard this, I just kind of went, wow. Yeah, her voice is brilliant. I do understand the criticism of it, and people are saying that if Ilvola can't win, if Malena did so badly, if France didn't win, this could easily do just as bad. But I honestly love the song. I love the production dress. Yeah, I think it's brilliant, and yeah, I want Estonia to win. I am a complete Estonia fanboy this year. I have no shame in saying that, and I just hope it does really, really well. And yeah, I mean, the bookies have got it very, very high up, but opera is always a bookie's favourite to win for whatever reason. But yeah, I adore this. I want it to win. Hopefully it does. Yay, La Forza, that's all I can really say. It's a great song. I love it.
I was not a huge fan of the song when it won its national final, if I'm honest. But it has grown on me quite a bit from listening to it. Opera isn't really my thing, to be honest, though. It's all right, though, and I do think it will qualify. So I don't know whereabouts it will come if it does go in the final, but I think it will definitely qualify at least.
I like the song. I've always liked it from the beginning. I thought her performance at Estilao, however it's said, was really quite amazing. Like, her vocals were incredible. I wasn't so keen on the massive overspilling dress with graphics on. To me, it doesn't really fit in with the song and the whole kind of classical opera type theme of the song. But other than that, I like it, and I think definitely it's qualifying. I think I want to say definitely it's going to make top 10, maybe. But I think sometimes it could either it would do amazingly well and be like top 3, or it would just completely bomb and kind of a bit like La Voix from Malena. And I'm kind of wondering, like, I want it to go the top 10 route, and I kind of have a feeling it will, but then there's a part of me that thinks maybe it won't, and people just won't like acknowledge it at all, and it will just bomb completely. So yeah, I like the song. I want it to do well, and I think it will, but I'm not 100% sure.
I mean, I've said for like the last week or so since we've had the 43 songs, I don't know why, but I feel like this is the song that's probably going to win the public vote. I just feel because it's such a standout song, and it will create a moment, if you want to use that word. I just feel like this is the song that's going to win the televote because Ilvolo managed to win the televote, and I was never a big fan of that song, but it connected to enough people to win that, so I think it could win. The juries, I don't think, are going to put it as the winner. I think they're going to mark it quite down because it is quite a divisive genre. So yeah, I don't think it's going to quite win, and it might win, it might not. But yeah, I'm a big fan of it. It's definitely qualifying. Hopefully, top 5. Hopefully, but I'm not entirely sure. But I'm just going to enjoy it regardless. But I can understand why it might not do so well. Sadly. Right. Moving on, the next song is Iceland, and it will be Ari Olasson with the song Our Choice.
We all have a choice we can make. There's always a choice we can make to help and to heal in different ways. Too many are dying in vain. Together we could ease the pain. If somehow we could ease the
Jess, do you want to start on this and songs that kept in this year?
Yeah, so I really like the song. It wasn't my favourite song going into the Icelandic national final that I'm not going to try to pronounce. My favourite was the runner-up, actually, who I really wished was going to Lisbon. But with the song that's chosen, it is very cheesy and very Disney and very kind of kid, teenager friendly. Like, I don't think it would sound out of place in Junior Eurovision, personally. The singer is Hazy. The singer has very good vocals, I think, especially the really high note that he does. That's quite impressive. But I do wonder if people will think maybe this is a bit too cheesy and a bit too kind of kid-like and not maybe adult enough, because it's that your typical kind of peace, love, whatever song. And I do wonder if that would kind of be a hindrance to Iceland or not. I mean, I would like to see it qualify, but I think if it does, I can't see it doing very well, to be honest.
Yeah, I like the song. I like him. He's got a great voice for 19. Yeah, the song's really sweet. I see what you mean. It could be about Junior, but yeah, it's not the cheesiest song. I feel like it's in this heat as well. I still think that award goes to Ireland slightly, and it is very similar to the Irish song, but I feel like this is better than the Irish entry. And yeah, he's got a great voice. He seems very genuine. But yeah, it is a very, very, yeah, just sort of like soundtrack peace song, which either do really well or really bad. I would like to see Iceland back in the final. I hope they are back in the final, but again, this could sneak in, and people are going to probably think I'm absolutely crazy thinking Iceland have a shot at qualifying, but he's got a good voice which juries will appreciate, and if he gets put high enough, he could sneak in just in 10th. We don't know. But yeah, I do like the song. It wasn't my winner, but I can understand why they picked him. And yeah, it is just a very sweet, nice song, and it kind of makes you go, ah, for 3 minutes. I can't really think of anything else about it. It's just a nice, pleasant song. But there's always,
It's very pleasant to listen to.
yeah, it's a nice song when you're like walking and everything. It's a nice walking song. Whether that translates into votes, I don't know. Emily, how do you feel?
Yeah, I completely agree with what you both said, to be honest. I really like the song. It's really sweet. He has got a very good voice for 19 years old. It's quite powerful. And I feel like he will just keep rehearsing and get better and better until May anyway. And I understand that it's sort of underrated by the fandom at the moment. I think people are not giving it a fair chance. Whether it will qualify, again, I'm really not too sure. I'd like to see it qualify, but obviously I'd like to see a lot of countries qualify, and there's only 10 spots. So I feel like it would be very borderline if it does manage to get there. But again, we'll have to see with staging. I feel like they could pull off some really nice staging with this song. So we'll have to see.
My only issue is that the Nordics don't really like to change their staging from the national final, like we've seen in recent years. Like Svala didn't change much. Greta, obviously, she had the screen, so she was going to change it, then changed her mind. Maria didn't change much, really. So it's a wait and see game with Iceland. I think I'm going to enjoy it on the evening. If I remember it after all 19 songs when it comes to voting, I'm not sure. But I would have it through, I think, personally, just. But it's difficult to pick 10 in this heat. Even just 10 I want in the final is really difficult. There's about 13 I really enjoy. Any final thoughts on Ari and our choice?
Nope.
Cool. I shall move along then to the next song, which is Israel, which is Netta and the song Toy.
I'm not your toy, not your toy. You stupid boy, stupid boy. I'll take you down now, make you watch me. Dancing with my dogs on the motherfucker beach. I'll take you now, whip me now, boy. I'm not your toy, you stupid boy.
The bookies' favourite now, shockingly. It shot up the bookies. It's got over 5 million views on its YouTube. Jess, I know what you're going to say about this song, so why don't you just start?
I do not like this song at all. I don't really know where to begin with this song. I mean, I think the parts where she's just kind of singing, just normally singing, I think is okay. But then she does all these weird sounds and makes all these weird noises that I don't understand and that I don't like and that I don't find pleasant to listen to. And I feel like the whole song is just a mishmash of, like, you know, what noise can I make next type thing, and just mixing a whole bunch of random chicken noises with some random singing and with whatever instrument it is she's playing with, and it just doesn't work for me. It's like an assault to my eardrums. I mean, I guess on a positive note, she does have very good vocals. She's a very good singer, and I'm confident that she will deliver quite I imagine an over-the-top and outstanding performance. I just can't stand the song at all.
I mean, it wouldn't be Eurovision without one What the Hell song, would it? And this is the What the Hell song of this year. I mean, it was always going to be something very different and special when we saw her in Rising Star with her looper and what she was able to do with that. And I think what they've done is very true to her. And I agree, she has got a fantastic singing voice when she's just singing. And she doesn't need all that added in. But again, it makes them stand out, because when it comes to voting, that's the sort of thing people are going to respond to. I mean, I had friends who loved Slavko last year, and he was so out of the box. Like people who loved Moldova because it was just so much fun and energy. So it's got that coming from it. Is it winning? Not a chance. I don't believe for 1 second Israel is winning. I think it could do very well. It could do like a Golden Boy and scrape a top 10, but it depends if the juries are going to go and the public are going to go, this is amazing, or this is a terrifying and extremely weird and I don't know what I'm watching. And I kind of hope if she does qualify, she's put in the first half, because this is the sort of song where if it's put on too late in the second half, a lot of viewers will be slightly tipsy or drunk and will then just laugh at it and not vote for it. They'll just like, every time it comes on a recap, just start laughing again. And you know, I don't wish bad on her or Israel or the song. I do love this song. I must admit, I do really enjoy this song, and I do think it's really clever, and I do sing along to the chorus an awful lot. But I can understand the criticism and why people are going, this is just too weird, and as you said, an assault on my ears, and this is just bonkers. And you know, it's one of the most divisive songs this year. I've seen a lot of people having it in their top 5. I've seen a lot of people having it in their bottom 5 or last, and I totally get both sides of the coin of that. I would love it to be top 10, but is it winning or top 5? I don't see it at all. And to be honest, the the like YouTube winner, as I like to call it, the one of the most views going into the contest, it never wins. Like last year it was
Yeah.
Francesco Gabbani, 2 years ago it kind of was, but like the fan favourite, like the one that's hyped up the most leading into contest, it never translates to the 95% on the night viewers. So I don't see it winning. Emily, what do you say?
Yeah,
on this?
no, I completely agree again. I don't hate the song at all. I think it's probably in my top 15 or so. It's not my absolute favourite, but I don't hate it either. But I must say, when I first listened to it, I thought, this is really weird. Like, it was just, I was not expecting it whatsoever. I showed it to my mum. She didn't like it. I showed it to my boyfriend. He didn't like it. I showed it to my sister. She did like it, but she likes weird music. So I don't know. It translates to some people maybe, but not others. I mean, it has definitely grown on me. But obviously, people voting, the majority of people voting on the night will have only either heard it like once in the semi-final and then for the second time in the final, or maybe they didn't hear the semi-final, so it was just one time. So I think it all depends on what people are feeling like on the night, and obviously we can't predict that. As you said, pre-contest favourites don't tend to do as well as you'd think, and so that's why I do not think it will win. I think it will probably do either top 10 or top 5, but I don't think it's a winner either.
No. I've just realised that the last 2 years, the pre-contest winner has actually ended up 6th, which was Amir and Francesco. So it could end up 6th. Like,
Yeah.
they've never even made the top 5, so God knows what will happen. But no, is it winning? No. One of my friends actually adores the song. He says it's too weird to even qualify, which is, you know, it could. Who knows? But yeah, I think it's quite cool. I do like the idea that, you know, a loop is being allowed to use, and it could like open more doors to electronic and more weird ways of getting music into the contest. But one of the reasons I don't want it to win, which is a little bit mean, is that obviously the winners always try to be replicated in national finals the year after. If a song like this wins, can you just imagine what the national finals will be like the following year? Just imagine a Belarus audition round with about 30 of these,
Oh,
but not as good.
No, thank you.
It'd be the best 3 hours ever.
Or the worst.
Or the worst, yeah, depending on the sound quality in that studio. But now, last but not least, we're going to move on to Lithuania, the final song in this half, and they're being represented by Ieva with When We're Old.
These are the reasons I can't let you go. Oh, let's sing the song that we wrote when we're old. When we're
I know he might be listening, so Ewan, if you hear this, I'm not even going to try and pronounce their surname. I'm really sorry. I can't speak Lithuanian. But yeah, When We're Old, this might actually be my favourite Lithuanian entry ever. I remember following this selection. I remember watching this on the first night back in January, at the start of January. And I was like, yeah, it's nice, but it's just fine. And I was following it all along, and I saw she kept winning, like every week was top. And I was like, okay, this looks like the dead cert to win sort of thing, unless something drastic happens in the final. I listened to it in the final, I was like, actually, this is really quite sweet and quite cute and lovely. We don't actually know what version she's sending to Eurovision, because in the national final she added Lithuanian in the final chorus, but the official video online is purely in English, so not fully sure which version she sent in. I'm hoping there's the part with a bit of Lithuanian, just because it's a different language and it'll be a bit nice. No, I really like this song. It's really sweet, and yeah, even though it doesn't change or go into some big key change or big dramatic moment like other songs, it's just sweet and pleasant. The only problem is that it might be a little bit too like the Icelandic song in the whole sort of like sweet charming factor, that they might cancel each other out. But no, I really like this, and I think it's a really sweet, cute song, and yeah. But I know some people will instantly turn off this in like a minute, but I'm a fan of it, which is Not something I said about Lithuania in a fair few years, so I'm happy. I actually really enjoyed the Lithuanian song this year. It's really sweet and endearing, and yeah, it's just really cute. Emily, what do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it is very sweet. It's very cute, but I have the problem where I listen to it and then I can't remember it afterwards. That's the only problem with me and that song. So I do feel like if for example, it was to go before Israel and Israel came on, I would not remember anything what Lithuania has just done at all. So there is the fear, obviously, of being overshadowed by a big song like that. But it is a very nice and sweet entry. Very inoffensive. It's decent. Yeah.
Jess?
Yeah, I like the song. I think it's one of their best entries over the last couple of years. But I can completely understand how people might kind of find this a bit boring and might use this as their toilet break song. So I mean, I think it's a very nice, sweet song, but not in a cheesy way like Iceland. But I do feel like at the same time the song doesn't really go anywhere, and it's just kind of the same for the whole 3 minutes, which could be its downfall. But I think with good staging and good vocals, and like Emily said, if it's not being overshadowed by Israel, for example, then I think it could just scrape through. Because I mean, it's a very kind of nice, easygoing, charming song to listen to, and so I think as long as there's sort of no song before or after that's going to make you forget it, then it could just about qualify maybe.